is let's make your own Docker container, which is pretty fun. You've already got this stuff installed from a previous project. So we're going to make a Docker file that runs nmap. So I've already done it here. You make a directory, you go in there and edit a Docker file. So if I go in here and see what I've done, this Docker file, it's only 241 bytes. And that's it. Not much to it at all. So from Debian, remember the other one said from scratch, but here I want to start from Debian. So it'll load a Debian image. Then I give it a maintainer name. I'm going to call you get anything you want for a name. In fact, I'll edit this. Let's try it again. Let me nano this. And I'm going to make it so the stupid colors go away. And Docker, there we are. All right, so I'm going to change the maintainer to Sam. All right. And so here's what it's going to do. It's going to give you a Debian image and then run these commands: apt-get update, apt-get install nmap, and IP route, and then apt-get clean, which will remove the installer files. And then it will run, the entry point is what it runs when you boot it up. It's going to run user bin nmap with these commands. -sn will ignore the fact whether it responds to a ping or not. -v will be verbose, and it'll scan the first 10 addresses, 172.17.0.1 to 10. This is the Docker private network. So it'll just look for running containers and then stop. So that's what it's going to do. I'm going to save this. Okay, now I can I can compile it. I can build my image. All you do is you go into that folder, which is where I am, and now Docker build -t, it tells it where to put it, and it's going to be Sam nmap server, and you give it a version number like 1.0. That's what you do. So that specifies what it's going to be. And Docker build requires exactly one argument. Oh, I forgot the dot there. The dot at the end tells it where it is. The current directory, there it is. So here it is, reading these commands, and here it is, figuring out how to do it. So it needs Debian, so it's got to pull down a Debian image. Okay, it's got that. Now here it is doing the update. You recognize this is the typical apt-get update, apt-get install stuff. And now it's getting in the command, it's done. It's now built it. So the build has succeeded. And by the way, before, there were some networking problems, just like before, and the cure was to restart Docker. So there does seem to have some problem with sort of tying up network ports, which is pretty common. So I had to restart the machine and restart Docker now and then to get around that. So now, if I look at my images, I have Sam nmap server is one of my images. And I have these other ones, that's my local image I made up. So I can just run that one but I have to give it the full name and the tag. So it's Docker run Sam/nmap server, and tab completion worked, which surprised me. And it worked there too. So there, that's going to run that image. And remember, this image, it's going to run in attached mode with my standard input and standard output. So when it runs, the output is going to come to me, and then it's going to finish doing the scan and end. So I don't need to interact with it, but here it is, running the scan, it's done, and came back. And now the container is going to stop, because this is like the hello world container. It runs and stops. It doesn't keep going. It's not running an existing service. So that's a custom image. And that's all you have to do to make one. And you just have to learn these commands, and there's really only about a dozen or so of those commands to put inside a container.
Your nmap doesn't have any outputs?
Here's the output. This is the nmap output. So it found two of the hosts are up, 0.1 and 0.2, and all the rest were down. So I told it to put output, and I ran it in attached mode. It came to my terminal. So that's it. Anyway, that I thought was pretty awesome. And so let me stop this one.